Alright, so today I'm going over a mono green deck, Elves. This is basically Elf Ball as we can do it in Historic. We basically just try to play a bunch of mana producers in Elvish Mystic Llanowar Elves, Elvish Archdruid, Marwyn the Nurturer in order to ramp really, really hard into a Craterhoof Behemoth or a lethal finale of Devastation. We can also win through Allosaurus Shepherd activations or Elvish Warmaster activations if we have enough mana to do that. Other than that, we're basically just trying to flood the board with as many elves as possible. A couple ways that we can do that is just by getting a bunch of these 1 mana producers out there. All that matters is we really get bodies out there. Elvish Warmaster also can make elves as we play more elves. And Realm Walker helps us get some card advantage, so we're doing a bit more of that. Plus, Imperious Perfect also can make some elf tokens. Then we also have Collected Company as a form of card advantage in addition to Realm Walker. This thing looks 6 deep to get us pretty much any elf out of our deck, which is good. Generally, you'll hit 2 things with this, but occasionally you will whiff. And yeah, basically that's pretty much the deck. Draw cards, make mana, and try to kill the opponent. In the land base, we've got a Lair of the Hydra for an alternative creature in case our board gets wrathed. And then we have Castle Garenbrig to help us use a little bit of our mana more efficiently. That's pretty much the deck. We are running the one of Craterhoof Behemoth, which is going to be searched out either by Finale of Devastation, which can get it either in our graveyard or in our library. So if we're playing a mill deck and it gets milled, Finale of Devastation is not a dead draw. Yeah, so that is Elves in a nutshell. Really, really quick deck. We're basically trying to kill them before they can kill us. If we run into a lot of creature removal, so be it. We're going to have to try to win all in a turn or 2. Anyway, let's go jam a few games and see if we can win with Elves. Okay, time for round 1. We have a turn 3 Marwyn if we draw a card. Or if we draw a land, that is. And otherwise, we do have a 1 and 2 drop, so this is fine. I'll keep this. And we are on the play, so that does help us. Allosaurus Shepherd does give us game against any sort of... Okay, interesting. So we are on potentially Aristocrats with some life gain synergy. Interesting. I can leave Crown Visionary here, get in with Allosaurus Shepherd. I highly doubt this deck is going to be on any counterspells, so Allosaurus Shepherd doesn't really help us that much. Okay, so this is just going to be Clerics. It's okay. I will decide to not trade. And now we unfortunately don't hit anything. Because this is Historic, we don't have any sort of Dryad Arbors to search out with Finale. So not much doing here. I just got to pass the turn and hope to draw a land. Unfortunately, this hand's not going to go anywhere if we don't get that extra land in. And opponent is just going to do the Hollowed Priest, Cleric of Life Swan things and just grow, grow, grow. I got to start taking my medicine here. We're going to be up to taking 7 a turn. Here's Warmaster. At least that is a draw. I still cannot attack, and I think this turn I might need to start just chump blocking in order to get a body out of the way. Bloodjuice Thirst sucks. And unfortunately they're going to be too big to deal with anymore. And I am on a 2-turn clock already if I don't just chump block. I will take all of that. Go to 3. And now I'm dead in so many different ways. Okay, so that just was kind of a non-game, boiling down to me not having any sort of mana. And they're removing a creature, so I will not be able to block. Okay. Quick first game. Kind of took a greedy hand, I suppose. Maybe we should be looking to see if we have our first 3 turns in hand before we go on in the next round. Anyway, let's try it again. Okay. Here's a much better hand. We do actually have our first few turns in the opening hand. I'll keep that. Here's Elvish Mystic. And we get a Marwyn next turn. If they have removal, they probably want to play it now, but maybe I can get them to kill Marwyn. And I'll be able to play another. Seems like Elvish Mystic dies here, though. Play with fire? No, Faithless Looting. Okay. Could be some sort of combo deck. That'd be my first guess, honestly. And this is interesting. This could be... I see a lot of cheap spells. This could be Phoenix. So, for sure, I want to just get my Marwyn out early. And now, next turn, if I draw a land, I have Collected Company. If not, I have Realm Walker. And then if they kill Marwyn, I have Marwyn backup. Sprite Dragon. Not worried about that at all. Elvish Archdruid is a great draw here. Let's see how I want to do this. Unfortunately, I'm going to be 1 mana off. So I could just hold up Collected Company. Yeah, I think holding up Collected Company is the move. I'll see what they do, and then maybe I can fizzle some sort of removal spell. I will quickly hold full control to place a stop at the end of their turn. EI is okay. We'll let them make their choices, and then I'll Collected Company to grow my board after they attack with Sprite Dragon. Okay. I will let them do their thing, and now that they've attacked, here is Collected Company. Alright, so yeah, these two are very easy draws. Now we have 12 power on board, rather 14. Okay. And here is another land, and I can Realm Walker now. Realm Walker on Elf, and I should be able to start going off here. Unfortunately, it's Lair of the Hydra on top, and we have 12, 15 damage here. It is probably wise for me to just swing in. Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. I want to move to combat. If I swing for 9, they have to defend here or start removing my creatures. I can just attack like this, or I can just go all in. I think I'll just go all in. The one thought here was, would I want to make another creature with Imperious Perfect rather. Another body's fine, but if I get board wiped, like, they need to have a board wipe in order to do anything here. They're stuck on 2 lands like I was last game. Lightning Axe is fine. They can do 1 more of those. I'm going to scry to find another land. Okay. They did bin a Phoenix. Okay. And they are attacking. Looks like they may not have a response. Yeah. Okay. And we got him. Very cool. Alright. So that is 1-1 after 2 games. Let's move on to the next round. Okay. So another pretty quick hand here in terms of mana. I think I'm absolutely keeping this. Getting the Collected Company ready to be held up is cool. And I'll be looking for a turn 3 Coco. Opponent is on mill. That is not really that bad. We do need to watch out for some Drown in the Lock type behavior out of them. There is the 6 mil out of Ruin Crab. I can get another Elvish Archdruid down next turn and then start attacking through. I think against the mill deck, it's probably better to be trying to go a little faster. Now, I do see black mana, so it is unclear whether or not they're on rogues or if this is going to be some sort of thing that's closer to mono blue mill. We only see Fabled Passage out of them so far. I think I can swing in for 2, and then if they block with the Rune Crab, I'll Coco. I will swing in with just the Llanowar Elf, see what they want to do. Okay, cool. I get to deal 2 damage to them, and this is fine. Let me go set a stop in the end of their turn. And we mill 3 again. Okay, missed 2 Imperious Prefects, perfects. Brutovac is fine, so I will just get in a Collected Company while I can. Allosaurus Shepherd is good. We actually are going to about have the mana to use it, so that's good with Realmwalker. I'll say Elf. And we have a Marwyn off the top. Right now I can just activate Allosaurus Shepherd and start swinging. I think that is what I would like to do. I have a total of 8 mana with Archdruid. It costs 6 to activate, so I can tap to play Marwyn and then activate, but it doesn't matter because Marwyn is... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tap for a total of 9 mana. That allows me to play Marwyn. And then, I mean, she doesn't have haste, so I can't do anything. This is kind of nice because I can pump Marwyn next turn via Allosaurus Shepherd. So we'll see if opponent wants to take 12. And they're just going to go for the turbo mill on me. They got to deal 40 mills worth of cards. They can actually just... I don't think they have the mana for it, but they can do a Cacophony Kicked, Maddening Cacophony. And as long as it's not that, I think I'm fine. I mill 6. 10 cards, that's 20. And they might actually have me here. Yeah, I think that's it. 7 left in deck. Oh man, the final Glimpse the Unthinkable. That is pretty impressive out of the mill deck. Brutovac and Grandiloquent. What a card, what a card. It's going to be interesting in the new 1 set when we get the completed Jace. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more mill. By the time you see this video, that is already probably going to be out. So, I mean, I'm recording this on the 31st of January, so maybe by the time you see this, our greatest fears will have come true. Anyway, that is 1 and 2 after round 3. Let's keep on going. All right, round 4. We have the absolute one-hander, or the one-lander right now. That's an absolute mulligan for me. This is not even that good. It's fine. I think I'm going to take it and get rid of Finale of Devastation. I do feel sad about not having the acceleration, but that is just going to have to be how it goes. So we will be able to start using Castle Garenbrig pretty early, which is cool. We are playing against discard, so we got to start thinking about that. Here is a Visionary. I think I can get rid of one of the Archdruids right now. For the mill, this is Davriel. Okay. So I think I want to actually get rid of Marwyn here. I want the +1/+1 on these Elvish Archdruids. So here is Elvish Archdruid. I am not able to pay. And I don't really feel good about trading Leafcrown Visionary. So for now, I don't think I'm going to do anything. I just want to play to a turn where I'm going to have Collected Company available. And so now this next discard is kind of tough. I think it's either Archdruid or Garenbrig. I think I can rationalize getting rid of the Archdruid. I'd like to make my land drop next turn, and Garenbrig is a good one. It might not matter because they can just Thoughtseize us or the Mind Rot, or Go Blank. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so we're hellbent now. And now we got to see what we can do. Now we start getting shocked each turn. Here's Llanowar Elves. Leafcrown Visionary does allow us to get something else out of this. And we now have a Collected Company, so that's good. I will just go ahead and pass through. We'll wait for them to activate Davriel or cast something to empty our hand. And then we just try to start playing some cards. So here's Collected Company. And we find Archdruid and Elvish Warmaster. I want to start pumping this turn. And now our board gets a lot more dangerous.
Tidy up in there.
Oof. That was a perfectly timed languish, sorry. Okay. Well, they've cleared their board, and now Waste Not's not doing very much for them. They have some sort of removal spell. I'm going to start swinging in here, and if they have no way of making creatures, then Waste Not is kind of dead to them. Murderous Rider is fine. And we just gotta hope our top decks can beat theirs. Our top decks may not beat this.
Is going to end on mine.
Shock every turn. Bummer. Here is Imperious Perfect. Now I can start making some tokens with the mana that we have. And sure, there is the Shock. So they're okay getting rid of a Inquisition of Kozilek now. Okay. Here's Murderous Rider. I can save 3 life by discarding. That will give them mana. But am I really worried about that? That's a good question. I think I'd rather just play this out. Them being able to play the second card in their hand is potentially worse. Plus, if they draw through Locthwain, them having extra mana kind of lets them get ahead. Maybe I'm gonna get punished here for just getting shocked all the time. That does get an extinction event out of their hand, which means that they probably have some sort of board wipe potential in that hand. Well, I'm just gonna start making creatures here. I can make 1 every turn, and then if I can find a way to pump them, then maybe we can get out of this. So I will discard the Forest to whatever they do. Hopefully can eat like an Inquisition or something. Cool, there goes my Forest. They're going to make 4 mana here, but they already have enough land, so I don't think this really matters for them. I imagine we see a Castle Locthwain out of here, or they just pass through. Okay. They are attacking, so I imagine they're just trying to kill all the things on the board, so I will at least kill their Murderous Rider. Save myself a little damage here. And now I assume we see some board wipe. There it is, another Languish. Here's Realm Walker. That's a very good top deck. Elvish Mystic off the top. And we draw another Elvish Mystic next turn. Fortunately, Liliana can just kill something. And then Davriel is dead. Or is going to kill something. Okay, so that just clears our board there. Or they just go for the damage, okay. Here's another Elvish Mystic. I can at least kill Davriel. That's fine. Then Liliana is going to be kind of tough to deal with too. She can... So now we're potentially taking 5 a turn. So we got 6 mana. We're going to really need a bit more than this. I can deal 1 to Davriel. That doesn't really do anything. And unfortunately, they have us dead next turn. Through the Davriel ping and Liliana's +1. I'll let them just go ahead and do that. And now we die on our upkeep. This is kind of a cool take on discard. This is kind of discard with a Planeswalker finish. Maybe I'll have to take a look at this in a later video. We're 1-3 now, which is a pretty negative record. But we got 4 games to improve that, or 3 games rather. Let's go on to round 5. Alright, so I'm just keeping this hand right off the rip. We do have a Elvish Archdruid and Coco. Here is a Lair of the Hydra, and we are playing against Sword of Burn. Not a common burn card, but this is kind of cool. Like to see that innovation. Unfortunately, nothing to do till turn 3 here, and I think I'll start on a Marwyn, then a Elvish Archdruid. I really don't expect these creatures to survive, as they have been holding up mana this whole time and are probably going to be playing some sort of burn spells that are going to kill my creatures. Though, I mean, if they use them on my creatures, it's better than them using them on me. Alright. That's essentially 3 mana gain 2 life out of Marwyn, so if we look at it that way, maybe it's not so bad. If they don't play anything else, it's going to take 20 turns for their Lavamancer to kill me, so let us Collected Company on their end step. Yeah, I'll do that, and then maybe get a Archdruid. Yeah, actually, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to try to kill their Lavamancer. Nah, that's essentially going to be... Shock becomes Strip Mine. Okay, so I'm going to just be on Collected Company then. Here's a Gutter Snipe. I will let them attack. Okay, here's Collected Company. Let's try to eat that thing, and we do find 2 targets. Perfect. Alright, Marwyn does get bigger. And now we're doing some stuff. Here is another land, and I want to get in Archdruid. Marwyn is now a 5/5. I can Imperious Perfect again, make my creatures a little harder to kill. I have 4 total floating. I'll make another creature. It's going to be good to have a bigger board. Plus that makes Marwyn bigger, which is sick. Next turn I can probably Finale for the kill. Alright, now it's kind of up to my opponent to do something. They're on 3 mana with a Gutter Snipe. All they can do is put damage on me. It'll take 2 cards out of their hand to kill one of my creatures, most likely. Unless they have, like, Lava Coil. So if I'm them, what am I killing? Probably Elvish Archdruid. Okay. So they're just going to double play with fire. That's fine. Sure. Now they just go face. Oh, Skewer the Critics, okay. Sure. Okay, Marwyn's still a 6/6. That means I have a total of 10 mana, which is enough to get a Craterhoof out. 4, 5, 6. 12 mana, so I can actually make it 10. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, so 510 exactly. Auto pay. And then let me double check that my Craterhoof is not in fact in the graveyard, so I will search my library for Craterhoof Behemoth. And there we go. They get big. That is about 50 damage right there. And we take down round 5. So there we go. We finally got to see the elf deck doing its thing. Feels fun. Let's move on to the next round. This will be round 6. Alright, we instantly found round 6 right here. Playing against Game Shark. Okay. This is a good hand unless they have removal for Land of War Elves and we fail to draw land. I'm all about it. Let's try this. Okay. These are colors that could have a 1-mana removal spell. I am scared, but here is Land of War Elves. Okay, no blocks. You may have that 1 point of damage. Alright, and I do get my turn back. Here is a Marwyn. Fatal Push. Am I about to see Fatal Push? Heartless Act. Okay, that's a little different. This is... I may want to sandbag the next Marwyn so that I can play around Heartless Act now that I know that they play it. So I'll need to have 5 mana, so I'll play out an Elvish Archdruid. That means that next turn with a land drop, I'll be able to Marwyn into War Master, or vice versa. Actually, yeah, vice versa, because War Master will trigger. Yeah. I think, yeah, that actually works out fine. I'll be able to do that next turn even if I don't draw land. Okay, so as long as they don't remove my creatures, I am feeling okay. I think they're going to remove my creatures, though. Something's going to die. Yeah, there goes Elvish Archdruid. Bummer. So my next turn... So that was second Heartless Act. Yeah, it was 2 Heartless Acts. Now the question is, what do I do? I could play a Marwyn into another kill spell. At this point, since I've seen 2 Heartless Acts, what are the odds that they have another in hand? I'm no math expert, but I will say that that is a pretty low odds. Here's Marwyn. Alright. I'd like to see them develop their board here instead of killing Marwyn again. We do have Craterhoof in hand. Not the best way to do it. Of course, I will not be blocking. You're going to have to use your kill spell. And maybe they sack it to draw cards. Bone Shards. Bone Shards it is. Alright. So they've dealt with a bunch of Marwyns. I think at this point I'm just going to start trying to get a War Master out, since this has clearly not gone the way I need it to. So they have the Trail of Crumbs and Cauldron Familiar engine going. That's going to be kind of annoying. But they don't have the Oven yet. At least that's nice. I do draw my land for the turn, which means I can War Master into Leaf Crown Visionary. Okay. That feels good. I'm not going to be able to hoof for quite a while. I can search for a 2-mana creature. Get another Leaf Crown Visionary. Imperious Perfect. You got Feasting Troll King out. That's sort of a bummer. But our end goal is to have a big turn, so that's okay. Yeah, I'll just grow my board a little bit. I will auto pay for this to draw a card. Got a forest, cool. Alright. And we will not attack. We're just building towards our next big turn. We do have War Master, so in a couple more mana's worth of time, we'll be able to do something about this. Feasting Troll King goes in, I will kill it with 2 of my chump blockers, and they'll be able to replay it with their 3 foods. Seems fine to me. Imperious Perfect. So now I can do a cool thing with Elvish War Master and Imperious Perfect on the battlefield. I can play a elf on my turn in order to trigger War Master, and then I can, on my opponent's step, make a creature with Imperious Perfect, and that will in turn trigger Elvish War Master. So Feasting Troll King is coming back. I would really like to have, what would it be? A Elvish Archdruid off the top would just be absolutely perfect. So they're going to be on some more food or treasure things to try to return Feasting Troll King. That's not awesome, but... Oh man, and Tireless Provisioner has landfall too. Here's a Fabled Passage. They're going to be able to make 2 more foods. And we're kind of settling into a bit longer of a game here. Luckily for me, I have double Finale in order to pump my creatures if that's possible. So I drew Allosaurus Shepherd. I think the correct play here is to actually just go look for my Elvish Archdruid. And I will just search my graveyard in order to make sure that I am being efficient. And now what does my chump block situation look like? I could try to take 7 and preserve all my creatures. I don't really want to get rid of anything that gives +1/+1, and I don't want to deal with losing Elvish Warmaster because that's what's keeping me alive right now. So what happens if I take 7? They can Giant Growth it. There's also the there's a pump spell in the food decks that allow you to sack a treasure to give something 5/5. So I have to treat the Feasting Troll King as a 12/11. So what happens if I just block it like really, really, really hard? I can ensure that it dies by blocking with everything. And that is going to force them to get a... That's going to force them to do something about it. Then I can additionally block the Cauldron Familiar for free. Okay. So if they... Okay, so they just decide to kill stuff here. Okay. So I am potentially safe from Troll King, unless they haven't played a land this turn. I wasn't paying attention. I think, yeah, no, they do have a land drop because they were only holding 2 of these things. So now Feasting Troll King can come back. And I actually kind of came out not very good here. Well, okay. Kind of a misread here. Maybe but I mean, I would have been dead if they had that thing. So I'm not going to beat myself too much up about that. I think the alternate would be to have blocked with my Elf Warrior, which was 4 toughness. So even if they had grown it to 12, I would have taken 8 + 1, so 9 damage. I would have been at 3 right now. Who's to say? I think it probably would have came out better. But they would have been able to loop Cauldron Familiar, so that would have been dangerous in of itself. So I've got 5 mana here. Allosaurus Shepherd is one of my only 1-drops. Warmaster is going to need to come out. Okay, get some creatures. Here's Shep. Now a Shep activation next turn is just pretty sweet, but I don't get a next turn, it seems. I can block pretty favorably, and I think... How funny is it going to be if I don't block Feasting Troll King and then they have the pump spell this turn? Okay, so I see 12 damage on board. I can block Cauldron Familiars, and I can double block Tireless Provisioner. Take 7. And then after this, I'm going to have to start blocking that thing. Okay. Now it's going to be a question of how many foods can they make. They potentially have me at 1. Alright, here's Trail of Crumbs making a food. They find a land. Gilded Goose can make a food. And yeah, now things are looking pretty tough. There's a Cauldron Familiar from hand, and they have enough to kill me here. Darn. Well, this is kind of a shoulda, coulda, woulda sort of situation. I think if I had not blocked Feasting Troll King, I would have been okay that one turn. But I've played enough of the mono green food deck to know that Feasting Troll King plus the... There are 2 spells that can hurt you. There's one that fights a creature and then deals excess damage to you, and then there's also the one that gives it +5/+5 if you sacrifice a food. So I'm not really unhappy with the way I played it. We are, I think, 2-4 after 6 rounds. So here we go into round 7. I'd really like to end this one on a win. Let's see if we can do it. All right. Here we go. It's round 7. We have the opener that we like to have out of this deck. So I can go Llanowar into Marwyn into Elvish Archdruid. Then a Realm Walker somewhere down the line. Alright, Liliana's Triumph. Thank God we drew this extra forest. Now we can get on a move here. I think I'm still on playing Marwyn next turn. This potentially is also a Liliana, or a discard Planeswalker deck. So this may be tough again. Luckily, Leaf Crown Visionary helps us with card advantage after turn 3. Opponent is thinking. This is what should be their 3rd land drop. Got the nice Ulamog cereal sleeves. Very cool. These are just pretty funny. Let's see if the opponent even wants to play this game. Okay. Well, opponent is not doing anything. I think I will start with the Marwyn plan. Get in for 1. And we'll see what the opponent does. Wow. All right, and they're just gone. Okay. I think this is not a game 7 I want to end on. This is not how I want to get my win. I would rather lose than just win to an AFK opponent. So let me go ahead and just record a game 7.5 here. Okay, you guys are getting a bonus game today. Unfortunately, this one does not have the curve that I'm looking for, though I'm fine with just an Elvish Mystic and Llanowar Elves. My turn 3 can be Leaf Crowned into Llanowar at the very least. Opponent with the absolute meme of a name. And we've got Den of the Bugbear here. Could be some sort of aggro deck, could be some sort of Rakdos control. Let's lead on a Llanowar Elves and see if they want to bolt it. Well, not bolt because this is historic. Maybe a shock. Play with fire, the pushed shock. That is just as expected. We have the either Alpha or Beta Mountain. I don't know which one. Here is Leaf Crowned Visionary. Let's see if it eats some removal. And next turn, the question is, do I run out of Marwyn or just an Elvish Mystic? So this is actually, this could just be straight up burn. Okay, oh god, it's Lila. Okay. So, yeah, this is just straight up mono red burn with a couple of supporting cast creatures. Now, in an attempt to bait out multiple spells, here is Realm Walker on Elf. We are drawing a Leaf Crowned Visionary next turn. If I'm left with Realm Walker after this turn, I'm going to want to do something with it. No blocks. Gonna need to start ramping out here. Oh boy, Chandra. Alright.
I hope you like your hors d'oeuvres extra crispy.
And Soulscar Mage. Wow. Okay. And so now they're starting to run out of cards. Here's Imperious Perfect. I can see if they would like to trade Soulscar Mage or 3 loyalty counters off of Chandra. Okay, cool. I got my damage in. That's nice. Alright, now what do I do? We're drawing a land next turn, so I have 4 mana to work with. Playing Leaf Crowned into Elvish Mystic means that I can draw a card. We're losing Imperious Perfect now. Wow. Do they just have me this turn with Lelia? She only grows once this turn. Haste, and is this a spell? 9 damage, 10 damage. And it's a DRC, so at least not a spell. We're not dead. But I think the writing is on the wall. And there's the DRC. So I cannot possibly play enough creatures to even chump block here. I can Leaf Crowned into Elvish Mystic and pay. And at least I have 3 finales in my hand to end off this game. I will try to kill Chandra. And then I think we will just take our lethal damage this turn. Okay, so a quick round 7.5 was not enough to do it. That is the game. And that is the series. So this was Mono Green Elves. We did at least get to see it do its thing here and there. You know, regardless of the showing, this is still a pretty strong deck. Just, there's enough removal out there in the metagame right now that it might be a little bit of a lull for the elf deck. But regardless, thank you for taking a look at the video today. If you enjoyed it, please drop me a like, helps me grow the channel. And that is all from me. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.